I'm Tad Flaky,
I'm Lilibet Flaky.
and this is Pointless Global News. On today's show, we'll give you the 411 on jet belly and how to do it when nature calls.
Then, meet the man who was horny to amputate his own legs.
Next, meet the U.S. Senator who believes radioactive shrimp may turn you into an alien. That moment of American embarrassment coming later. But first, are you feeling gassy at 30,000 feet? Whether you're headed to paradise or jetting off for business, many passengers find themselves battling a different kind of turbulence when their guts revolt midair, leaving them bloated, cramping, and desperate for solid ground. To get to the bottom of this phenomenon known as jet belly, Dr. Brennan Spiegel, a UCLA professor and the director of health services research at Cedars-Sinai Hospital, broke down how to prevent breaking wind from wrecking your next flight. So you might be asking yourself, what is jet belly and why does it even happen? Well, it's a nickname for the bloating and cramping many people get on airplanes. At sea level, Spiegel explained, gravity pulls air molecules tight to the earth, keeping the atmosphere dense. But as you climb higher, the air thins and pressure drops. Even though airplane cabins are pressurized, they don't fully match sea level, so your intestines may inflate a little bit. That means gases trapped in the gut expand almost like a sealed snack bag puffing up in mid-flight. In a 1969 study, researchers found that the abdominal gas in 18 military men who agreed not to fart during the simulated flight, that must have been a tough assignment, more than quadrupled as the altitude climbed from ground level to nearly 30,000 feet. For some, Spiegel said, the experience is just mildly uncomfortable. But for others, it can be downright painful and even trigger a flare-up of colitis, a type of colon inflammation in people with conditions like Crohn's disease. Jet belly is a reminder that while our bodies evolved to resist gravity's pull, they're also tuned to the atmospheric squeeze gravity creates, he said. He went on to say, when that squeeze loosens at altitude, the gut often loses it and starts to feel it first. So, can you deflate jet belly from your seat, you ask? Well, yeah, it's really pretty simple. You just have to do some in-seat movements to make a big difference. Spiegel said one of his go-to tricks is something he calls the jet belly release. To do it, place your hand about 2 or 3 inches below your belly button and press gently but firmly. Then start massaging toward your right side in the direction of your right hip bone. Abdominal massage can help relieve bloating by stimulating digestion and promoting the release of gas. Spiegel said, once the air moves into the colon, which has much more capacity, it can be released much more easily. And yes, that could mean a discreet mid-flight fart, he noted. But you're still feeling bloated, so what else can you do? Well, Spiegel recommends doing seat twists by gently rotating your torso side to side to help mobilize your intestines. Posture matters too. By sitting up straight, you can prevent your abdominal cavity from getting compressed. Consider occasionally breathing slowly and deeply while exhaling through pursed lips. This can help stimulate the vagus nerve, relaxing the gut and improving digestion. But don't overdo it because, if you do, the person sitting next to you is probably going to figure out what you're trying to do and what might happen next. So be sure to listen to your body. Think of it as working with gravity, even though you're seated at 35,000 feet. If you've got gas, experts say it's better to just let it go, since holding it in can bring in a whole laundry list of other uncomfortable symptoms. So go ahead, do a one-cheek sneak if you must, but try to make it to the John if you think you have the time to make it there.
Of course, the best thing you can help yourself to prevent jet belly is not having carbonated drinks when you're in midair.
But there's another problem that could happen too. Some airports actually have Taco Bell stands inside of them. And I swear one time I was on a flight and the person sitting next to me brought in a Taco Bell burrito, of course, the all-bean variety, chowed it down, and the next 3.5 hours made for one of the most miserable flights I think I've ever experienced in my life.
He was tooting all the way.
And smelly, too.
Oh,
yeah.
God. I'm sorry. A vascular surgeon in the UK who was accused of fraudulently having his legs amputated as part of an insurance scam and to satisfy a sexual fetish is behind bars. Neil Hopper, 49, of Cornwall County in England, was sentenced to 2 years and 8 months after pleading guilty to 2 counts of fraud and 3 counts of possessing extreme pornography. Hopper had complained about pain in his feet and was falsely treated for sepsis before he had both his legs amputated in 2019, a court heard Thursday. His legs were removed after surgeons determined it was necessary. However, it was uncovered that the doctor had submerged his legs for 8 hours in a combination of ice and dry ice, so they would have to be removed. He made insurance claims with 2 firms, accounting to nearly $872,000, which the prosecutor said was the result of both his sexual interest in amputation and greed. His motivations were a combination of obsession with removing parts of his own body and a sexual interest in doing so, Lee said. It seems to have been a long-standing ambition of his, the prosecutor added, noting that Hopper appeared to enjoy the media attention following his amputation. The vascular surgeon had performed hundreds of amputation operations on patients while working for the National Health Service before his own amputation, and returned to work less than 6 months after his limbs were cut off, and he was fitted with prosthetic legs. Hopper, however, also purchased 3 videos from a website of men willingly having their genitals removed. Investigations into Eunuch Maker, an extreme body mutilation pornography website where Hopper bought the videos, led to his arrest in March of 2023. Hopper's defense attorney, Andrew Langdon, said his client suffered from body dysphoria since childhood and saw his feet as an unwelcome extra and a persisting, never-ending discomfort. Meanwhile, Hopper, who said he bitterly regrets his dishonesty over the reason for his amputation, he told the judge he didn't regret having the operation. Hopper was sentenced to 22 months for 2 fraud counts and 10 months for the 3 extreme pornography charges to run consecutively for a total of 32 months. When I first read the sentence extreme pornography, I wondered what it could be. Now that I know, I wish I didn't.
And you know that website he went to, Eunuch Maker, that's one website you don't have to worry about me ever going to.
Well, thank goodness.
Thank goodness for that, yeah. Okay, finally, in the midst of the ongoing debacle concerning the recall of radioactive shrimp from Walmart, Kroger, and other U.S. stores, Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana caused quite a stir on the Senate floor back on Wednesday. He suggested that consuming the shrimp could result in a person transforming into the chest-burster alien from the sci-fi horror movie of the same name. Kennedy stated on Wednesday while standing next to a large cardboard picture from the 1979 film, he said, "This is a photograph of the alien from the movie Alien. This is what you could end up looking like if you eat some of the raw frozen shrimp being sent to the United States by other countries. How could you end up looking like this alien? Because the shrimp was radioactive," he said, quote. Well, as you might imagine, there were some pretty good comments from social media concerning this idiotic statement from Senator Kennedy. One of them on X was saying here that were all the people this stupid before Trump got into office, or is there a brainworm infestation in all MAGAs? And another user on X posted, "I think Kennedy already got into the shrimp. He looks half alien. Pretty sure this is just RFK Jr.'s brainworm." The recall started on August 12th. The items have been withdrawn because they may contain cesium-137, a radioactive isotope created as a byproduct of nuclear reactions. It's still unknown how the containers or the shrimp became contaminated.
How can he get away with making statements like that and still remain in office?
Well,
Not in office, but still remain.
The interesting thing about that Senator Kennedy, which I have to keep reminding people, is the one that's currently in the Senate from Louisiana, not the John Kennedy from many years ago, of course. But he's actually a Rhodes Scholar who went to Oxford University. And a lot of political pundits say he just plays this kind of dumb Rube character to satisfy the people that vote for him.
Okay.
He's wise as a fox, I guess.
I guess.
Anything to get elected. And that's going to be a wrap for another Pointless Global News. Be sure to follow us wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Tad Flakey.
I'm Lilibet Flakey.
Stay pointless, my friend.